Hello again. Today I wanted to talk about your consistency commitment. Before we get into the details of the business, the products, things like that, I wanted to get into your consistency commitment because I think when you first start this business, it's super important for you to have the right mind frame and tell yourself immediately, my time is now. I joined this for a reason, and write down your why. Because there's going to be a lot of situations and a lot of things thrown into your life in every sort of business you start, any sort of adventure you start. A lot of things are going to be thrown your way to try to bring you down. And so you have to keep that mindset right. So right now, before you really get started diving into our training, I want you to tell yourself right now, there's no excuses for me not to work my business and go after my goals and my dream. My why is important enough. Remember why you started. A lot of you need financial freedom. A lot of you need to pay off debt. A lot of you are tired of telling your children, no, we can't do this, or no, we can't take a vacation, or things like that. So remember your why. And when things get tough, you keep pushing forward because that why is worth it. Okay, so there's no excuse and no problem that can't be solved in this business. So really commit to yourself daily. Like, I'm going to make this happen. Use these affirmations. I wanted to give you a little background on myself. I am a mother of two. I work 60, sometimes 80 hours a week at a full-time job. And so extra time, I'm a full-time wife, I'm a full-time mom, and extra time really I don't have a ton of it. So I have to make it. So I wanted to offer you some tips as to how I get my training done, as to how I get these videos done for you guys, as to how I make time to work my business. And because I know, and that's really why I started this series too, of these unit videos for our new team members, is because I was going through training videos that are an hour, 2 hours long. And like I said, I commute about an hour and a half to and from work. Plus I'm working 10-hour days, and then I've got my kids. So, it makes it difficult to find time. So I wanted to make these quick series of videos for you guys to realize that anything can be done in short little spurts of efforts consistently over time, especially in this type of a business, is going to bring you huge compound effects later on in life. And just down the road, even a year down the road, okay? So, and that's how I work my business. So with being a full-time employee, a full-time wife, full-time mom, the ways and tips that I can give to you as far as making time for your business, the first thing I want to say is, if you only work your business when you feel like it, it's not going to work. It works like a marriage, okay? It works like a relationship with your kids. It works like a job. And, if I don't show up to my job and if I don't do it, I don't get paid, right? 99% of the time when I wake up, I do not want to work. I don't feel like working. So I show up regardless of that to get paid. With my marriage, there's times where I want to punch my husband in the nuts. And so if I don't work my marriage, even in the times I don't feel like it, it's not going to be a success. There's times where I just don't want a mom. And guess what? Too dang bad, because these little ones rely on me, right? So if I only work that when I feel like it, it's not going to be successful, and I'm probably going to really hurt my children. So you're going to really hurt your business if you only work it when you feel like it. And again, this is totally your business to make it what you want it to be. But just remember, little efforts over time are going to exponentially grow you a year down the road. So work it even regardless of you feeling like it, because your why is important enough to you, okay? So tips for a busy lifestyle for those of you who are super busy and getting things done. My commutes, when I'm driving, 75% of the time I turn off the radio and I put on a personal development book or a video such as you're watching now, a training video from someone whose paycheck I want. Okay, so I put that on in the car and I listen to it. It's not always ideal because I would love to take notes, but it's better than nothing, right? So that's a lot of my drive time is for personal development. When I'm showering, I will put on personal development. When I'm cooking dinner, I will put on personal development. When I'm getting ready in the morning, I will put on personal development or training videos. So I maximize my time and efforts. I do also wake up a little bit earlier, about 30 minutes earlier to work my business, and go to bed about 30, sometimes 60 minutes later than what I would normally to work my business again. A lot of our business can be done, the follow-ups, in the hours that people just put their kids to bed. And if you don't have kids, that's fine. A lot of your potentials will, because that's the time that they get to settle down, check thing notifications, check the phone, text back and forth, message, call, things like that. So if you can spend an extra 30 to 60 minutes, 5 nights a week doing that, that's going to grow your business a lot. So that's what I do. My kids are currently sleeping. My husband's currently sleeping, and I'm doing this video now for you because I know it's going to grow my business. So these are just different ways I work it into my life. As I'm out and about in the marketplace, like working or out and about running errands, I listen. I keep my ears and eyes open. And when people complain about money or any sort of thing that CBD or our business can help, I say, and I'm going to give you an example. I say, hey, I do this side business. Like, I can send you some info. I really think it would help you. So for example, because right now I work for a beer distributor, and so I'm in a lot of bars, and I'm really super friendly with all the bartenders, and one of the girls was like, I saw her, she works 2 different bars that I call on, and she said, hey, she's like, oh, it was so slow the other night. I'm not making any money. I really don't want to have to pick up a 3rd job. And I'm like, Melissa, you've already thought about asking her to be on your team. She's got a great personality. Like, you need to just go for it. So I was like, Corinna, like, I have a side business aside from this job, and it's something I can do with my children. They come to events with me. I can work it from my phone a lot of the times on social media. Would you want me to send you some info on that? Because I'm making an extra couple thousand a month in my first few months just doing it. Now, you might not have that success yet. You can use someone else's success, my friend Melissa or whatever, because that's what I used with someone else's success when I first started. Or a lot of the times I'll say, here in the next few months, I'll be making just as much as I make in my full-time job. I'll say that, like, claim where you're going or what the business has already done for someone else. So that's just one example of how I work it into my everyday life. Another situation, someone was complaining about a nerve damage and nerve pain they were having in their arm and elbow. And I said, hey, I have a side business where we have like CBD products. Would you want me to get you some information on that? And maybe it can help you. So I get that a lot. And so, I mean, it took me an extra 10 seconds in the middle of my day to do that. And so if you have a busy lifestyle, work this into your everyday life. Be a problem solver. Think, how can I work this business? How can I make this business work? Don't think of all the reasons why you can't, because otherwise you just won't. You won't succeed because your mind is so blocked by the reasons why you can't, other than the reasons you can. So busy lifestyle doesn't matter. You can be successful at this business. You can make an extra couple grand or more a month. You can replace your full-time income. No excuse can be used for you to not work this. And again, I don't want you to think I'm forcing you to do it. I just know how much potential everyone has that we bring into this company. And I want that for you, and I want that for your family. So I'm going to continue on with some product training, some ideas on how different ways to work the business, and get real nitty gritty on those, each specific way. So continue on with the units here and this training, and provide us some feedback into where you feel you could use help, and where maybe you might find a roadblock in the business, but be willing to hear a solution. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.